19 days to the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections here in Ghana. Hello and welcome to Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kujobris. Coming up this hour, government punches holes in allegations of expired rebagged rice served in senior high schools by the North Tongue MP. Government insists the product passed the wholesomeness test by the FDA.
Whole intention was to fight for the safety and well-being of students. So if at the end of the day it comes out that FDA had already made the determination and declared the food wholesome and safe, I mean, where from this whole drama?
He said he will petition the Office of the Special Prosecutor to take up the matter if the president fails to set up a commission of inquiry to investigate the issue.
If the president will not set up a commission of inquiry into this matter, we will welcome the OSP taking up this matter and investigating it.
Our Teachers and Education Workers Union of TUC defies National Labour Commission's order to call off their strike, insisting they must see commitment from government to address their concerns. And later, in our Street of Despair series, we take you to Kaneshi First Light, where foreign children as young as 10 years old, far from home, are fighting to survive. Once beggars, they now hawk goods at the medians of our city's busiest streets. Now, the minority in Parliament is piling pressure on President Akufo-Addo to set up an independent commission of inquiry to investigate Lamens Investment Africa, the company accused of repackaging and distributing expired rice to senior high schools, or they will petition the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate the matter. MP for North Tongue Samuel Akudjoto-Ablakwa says the 2021 Auditor General's report implicated Lamens of supplying 65 bags of rice to Prestia Honey Valley Senior High School and 5 cartons of carnation milk, which were found to be unwholesome in March of that year. He wondered why no action was taken against Lamens despite the Auditor General's advice to the contrary.
We have pointed out that the attempt to feign ignorance, that they didn't know about this, is not genuine, because the FDA contacted them during their investigations. The sudden attempt to also defend Lamens, become the spokespersons of Lamens, as if Lamens, they don't have directors and staff who can speak for themselves, further justifies our position that the Ministry of Education cannot be trusted to investigate itself. It will be such a discredited investigation. So we are calling for an independent commission of inquiry. That's why we are saying that President Akufo-Addo must not remain silent. We are talking about a matter that affects millions of senior high school students. President Akufo-Addo, Vice President Bawumia, this is the time for them to offer leadership. Step in and commission a special inquiry into this matter. If they fail to, we will be happy to see an organization, for example, like the OSP, take this matter up, because under the OSP Act, they are to investigate criminal conduct. And it's clear that the rebagging without authorization is a criminal conduct. And if the president would not set up a commission of inquiry into this matter, we will welcome the OSP taking up this matter and investigating it. You do know that we have collaborated with the OSP on other matters. The recent one being the $34.9 million ambulance spare parts scandal, which involved the president's daughters and their sweethearts and business partners. So we continue to collaborate with the OSP on these matters, and we'll welcome another collaboration if they are minded, and we hope that they will be minded in the interest of public health and safety. We can do another round of questions.
Well, the Ministry of Education is vehemently fighting all the claims, insisting that though the company was sanctioned for repackaging and changing the country of origin of the bags of the rice, it passed the wholesomeness test. Now, he says they explain that the rice passed the wholesomeness test by the FDA. Here's the ministry's PRO, Kwesi Kwarteng.
I am surprised because I do not understand why Mr. Blakwa should be disappointed that FDA is confirming that the food was wholesome. I thought the whole intention was to fight for the safety and well-being of students. So if at the end of the day it comes out that FDA had already made a determination and declared the food wholesome and safe, I mean, where from this whole drama and dragging of issues?
You call it drama?
No, you see, we should separate the facts from the dramatization of it. The fundamental question is whether or not FDA approved whether the food was wholesome or not.
But there are concerns. There are concerns that there were big hands involved in this matter. For which reason? Let me finish. For which reason? Maybe someone's hands were actually forced to do what they were not supposed to do. Have you also considered that?
I don't think this is a fair question even to come from you.
Why is it not fair?
I'm not sure my role as a spokesperson is to respond to assumptions and speculations by a member of parliament who lays claim and refuses to support such claims with evidence. Whose hand? So
at what point then did the FDA sanction Laments Africa? Why?
You see, the point is that let's put things right information out there. FDA sanctioned Laments for not getting approval to repackage, not the wholesomeness of the food.
And you insist that Laments did nothing wrong, even though they were sanctioned by FDA for not seeking approval for this repackaging. But I'm wondering, why did they have to even repackage if there was nothing wrong?
Let's speak to facts. We can have our own, our own.
I think that's what we are doing here. We are not here to talk about opinions. We are sticking to the facts.
So in that case, you don't ask judgmental questions. Ask questions.
What is judgmental about the question? Why did they have to repackage? Is the concern. If there was nothing wrong with the rice, why did they have to repackage and change the name of the country of origin? Why did that have to happen?
Respectfully, I don't speak for FDA. The document that I shared on why they wanted to, they need to repackage, the document is a public document. You can find out, you can speak to the company. I can only speak to what we have found as a ministry. That to me is the most important. What we found is that FDA declared the food wholesome. If you dispute that, FDA is the right agency to speak to that. For us, our priority as a ministry is to find out whether the food was wholesome. And we have found out the food was wholesome. That ends it for the Ministry of Education.
Okay, so from the Ministry of Education's point of view, nothing untoward happened. It ends the matter.
I am from the Ministry of Education's point of view, the food was wholesome.
So investigation continues or it ends on the part of the Ministry of Education?
We've put out our findings. If there is any other issue that comes up, we'll let the public know. But for now, that is our findings.
Well, some parents have been expressing worry about possible health implications of the unwholesome rice consumed by their wards in senior high schools. The parents are calling for a raft of actions, including an action from the president and an immediate medical assessment of their wards in the senior high schools to the extent to identify, the extent of damage which may have been caused to them. Here are some of them.
As a parent, for reasons that I'm standing here, I'm having 4 children. My own children are 2, the adopted one are 2. So I should be concerned.
Are there any in senior high school or have gone to senior high school?
Yes, one is already in senior high school. So especially when I heard about it, I'm highly worried because what about she comes home, started complaining, Daddy, this is what is worrying me. Then the little money that I've saved, I'll take her to hospital. The children, they be complaining about, already they be complaining about the food that they be eating at the school. So importing of rice, I don't think it's acceptable. The best way is for us to develop our own rice, like brown rice, our own local rice that we can use to feed our own children. And that one, we know that there's no any contamination on our food.
So my brother is actually in SHS TEWU, and hearing about this is very, very, very bad. It is not appealing at all. First of all, we know what expired foods can do to the body. Okay, from the president, he has subordinates. So I would say that the authorities should take actions for it. Exactly. How would you feel if your child, your brother, your daughter, or whoever comes out of your family, suffer from this negative effect of expired foods? So I want them to take action of it, yes, being it FDA, the government as well. If you want to sue the person, you can take legal actions against the person.
You mean the parents?
Exactly.
The government have to do something about it, because that's why they are paying them. The food and drugs, but because of that they are paying them. So they have to stop those things. They have to see to it that these things are not supposed to be sent to the schools, to our kids to use. Right now we can't say there is a punishment, but they have to take them to hospital and check them. And check them my health, that what they have consumed, is it good to my body or something like that.
Well, away from that, the Teachers and Education Workers Union of TUC, TEWU, are defying an order by the National Labour Commission to call off their strike less than 24 hours into the strike action, insisting they must see commitment from government to address their concerns. The union has begun a nationwide indefinite strike in protest of government's failure to address delays in revising what they term as expired conditions of service for workers under the Ghana Education Service, Ghana Library Authority, public, technical and traditional universities. According to TEWU, they want the NLC to compel their management and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to address their concerns. Salamatu Mahama Brahima, the chairperson of TEWU TUC, has been speaking to my colleague MFA Adeti on the Joy News channel earlier today.
As unionists, strike is always our last resort, okay? We don't take pleasure in embarking on strike, but it is normally when we don't get the attention of government, that is where we resort to strike actions. And so if we meet the National Labour Commission and we are able to get the fair wages and our managements to the negotiation table, definitely we'll have to suspend and see the way forward.
Does it matter at all that you're getting to the negotiating table with the NLC, or you're going to be asking for specific things as we know already? What will be the minimum and the most that will not let you strike?
What we are expecting is that the NLC will instruct fair wages and our management to get a mandate from government and sit with us.
Well, we've been joined by the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Mr. Ofosu Asamoah here. Grateful to you for joining us. First off, you had the TEWU TUC there, that until you compel their management to try and get, they want to see commitment. What's your plan to get this commitment for them so that they can also subsequently call off their strike?
Thank you very much for getting me onto the program. This is not the first time this case is coming before the commission.
Okay.
They've been here before the commission on the same matter with Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and the Ministry of Education, represented by the Ghana Education Service. They threatened a strike somewhere in October. They appeared before the commission. And on 14th October, they wrote a letter and copied the commission, suspending the strike and asking its members to go back to work because of the government's commitment they have shown and the way the negotiation was going. That was their last letter they wrote to the commission. They wrote on the 14th of October, and it was received on the 15th of October. For all intents and purposes, the commission sitting here, which is not part of the negotiation, but only directed and facilitated it, was waiting that they will report the positive outcome of the negotiations, and that if it went bad and it was inconclusive, they will come back to the commission and report so that the commission will take up the matter, either settle or, as they are saying, if the other party will have to be compelled to do what they ought to do, the commission to do so. Unfortunately, and in between the 14th October when they wrote the letter, the Ghana Education Service wrote to the commission on the 30th October telling the commission that after the suspension of the strike, 2 meetings have been held. So we sitting here know that the commission is going on. Then on the 14th of November, which was last week Friday, exactly a month after they have suspended the strike and assured the commission that everything was going on well, they threatened a strike. The letter was received after 4 p.m. on Friday, declaring a strike beginning today, Monday, 18th. You see, you appear before the commission with your problem. The other party against whom you complained against was invited. The commission tried to settle it and facilitate settlement. You go back and you write to us saying you are negotiating, things are going on well. And for that matter, you have asked your members to call off the strike. So that if anything goes wrong, you have to inform the commission. But even if you intend to go on strike, nobody stops anybody from going on strike. It's their legal right to go on strike. However, to go on strike, there's a procedure. You have to write to your employers and write to the commission, giving us 7 days notice. When you satisfy this, you have satisfied the legality of, engaging on a strike.
So what you're saying is that this strike is illegal because they didn't give you the mandated period of notification.
That is so, certainly. I've told you.
Interesting. But, I mean, these are people who have worked with...
for 7 days. And between 14th Friday and today 18th, less than 2 days, because the weekend is not a working day. Have they satisfied it?
Well, but they complain that they've been working with expired conditions of service, some of them since 2008. That's unfair, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is unfair. There is no argument about that. It must be renewed. It has not been renewed. That is why the process has started. They were holding meetings and it's ongoing. So that if at a point in time, you see, I will not begrudge them that they want to go on strike, because I'm not saying their conditions are fair. I'm not saying that it should have been renewed or it should have been renewed. It hasn't been renewed. But however, they are in the process. So if in the process you think that it is slow and you want to go on strike, like I'm saying, it's their legal right. But to do that, you have to follow a process.
Okay.
That is where they are in breach. So I can only appeal to them, like the commission has advised. And the commission, even on this, despite the strike that they are declaring, the commission has taken a step to invite Ministry of Ghana Education Service, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Ghana Museum and Monuments Board, the registrars of all public technical universities to appear before the commission and to speak to or justify the delay and the non-renewal of their conditions of service. This is what the commission has done. So we are pursuing their interests. So we can only plead with them.
What have those people that they term as their managers, what have they been telling you? Because from 2008 till now is a long time. What reasons have they been giving you for the non-renewal so far?
That is what I'm saying, that they were advised, they were made to go into negotiation, which they have been doing as at 30th October. We have letters from the TEWU themselves, dated on the 14th October and received on the 15th. We have another one from GES, Ghana Education Service.
I get it, but I just want to find out from you whether or not they have been given some reasons as to why their expired conditions of service have not been renewed over all these years.
They did not give us a reason because they have no reason justifying it. That is why the commission ordered them to go into negotiation, which they are doing. You see, what we have on hand now is that TEWU is complaining about delays. So if there's delays, and the commission has summoned the groups that I've mentioned, the registrars of public universities, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, the Ghana Education Service, the Ghana Library Board, the Museum and Monuments Board, to appear before the commission on Wednesday.
Okay.
To speak the delay they are complaining of. So the commission is not sleeping. We want to have the issue solved.
All right.
So let me use your medium to appeal to the union, that is the Teachers Education Wing, to listen to the advice of the commission, to disengage in the strike, whilst we look at the matter on Wednesday. We are only begging them, you know, first years I'll be having their admission, processing their admission. And this is going to, so we are begging them. Let me beg them.
I would have loved for us to stay on more on this subject, but we need to move on. But still stay on the labor front, because the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana are also refuting claims that they have seen increment in their monthly allowances from government. According to TTAG, the publications about members receiving increment of 800 cedi per month are false. These are contained in a statement released by the association. Let's share with you details of this. Now it says the attention of Teacher Trainees Association Ghana, TTAG, has been drawn to the numerous false publications on an increment of the Teacher Trainees allowance from 400 cedis to 800 cedis in lieu of a communique and resolution passed at the 28th Annual General Assembly at Tamale College of Education in Tamale there. It continues to say that they want to state on record that nothing like that has happened. And the fact is, that as of today, November 17, 2024, they have not received any formal information about the increment of the Teacher Trainees allowance. Neither has the Ministry of Education made any intention of an increment known to Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, TTAG. They add, however, that on July 4, 2024, they submitted a proposal for an increment of the Teacher Trainees allowance, but unfortunately, the Ministry of Education has not acted on it. And quote, we wish to set the record straight that the government still owes teacher trainees in all the 46 public colleges of education 4 months of allowance arrears of the second semester of 2023-2024 academic year, which ended on October 11, 2024. So this is the statement from the Teacher Trainees Association refuting any, information about increment in the allowances. This is still Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break here. I'll be back with more. Please do stay. Welcome back from the break. Now, today in our Street of Despair series, we take you to the Kaneshie First Light. Here in the Greater Accra region, where children, some as young as 10 years old and far from their homes in Niger, are fighting to survive. These children, once seen begging at car windows, are now selling goods at the median of our city's busiest streets, dodging traffic and finding ways to feed themselves and their families with dignity. Joy News' Faustina Safo has been engaging some of them and has come through this report.
I have come to one of the busiest intersections in the capital, Kaneshie First Light. Once the traffic light signals red, young faces appear through the blare of car windows with outstretched arms, warm smiles, and sometimes tear-filled eyes. They try to prick your conscience, hoping you spare a coin or two. These children, often from Niger and Nigeria, once upon a time survived mainly through the benevolence of passengers and drivers. However, their approach has changed. They have become vendors, selling products like cotton earbuds and brushes, striving to catch the attention of potential buyers. For these young ones, this isn't just a sales speech. 10-year-old Aisha says she makes enough profit selling cotton earbuds to feed herself and her parents, who are meters away.
My parents moved from Niger because things there were difficult. We came here hoping for a better life. At first, I begged, but now I make more money selling. I can now cater for myself and my parents.
For 10-year-old Fatih, selling car brushes provides her the dignity begging deprives her of.
When I was begging, people used to stare at me a lot. Now I sell and I know they see me. It's not much, but I'm earning something and feels better. I make at least 20 cedis profits a day.
This new path is far from easy. There are days when they make nothing, standing in the hot sun or under pouring rain, but they still push on for the sake of their families.
There are days when the sales are not good, but still, we try our best. We can only pray for better days.
These children, though still so young, are learning harsh lessons in resilience, lessons that no child should ever have to learn. Caught between the innocence of childhood and the harsh demands of survival, these children are left to wonder, is there a future beyond the streets, or will they be forever bound to this life? For Sina Safo, Joy News, Kaneshi First Light.
Well, so that's a wonderful piece there. When you meet them on the street, buy something. Let's do election headquarters now, which is brought to you by us in association with Petrosol Platinum Energy, Energizing Dreams, Chop Box, a convenient service, German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, the AICP and CIMA, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Also Youth Bridge Foundation, Bridging Gaps for Positive Youth Development, Syntex Tanks, Strong Air Tough, Potential Real Estate, your trusted partner in real estate, and Deluxe Paint, Paint Mu Champion. And Ghanaian politicians have been ranked the 7th most educated among their counterparts in 56 countries, according to a study published by The Economist based on data from the Global Legislators Database. Now, Ghana sits just one spot behind the United States, which ranks 6th. The findings draw from 2 studies conducted by researchers from leading global universities, analyzing data from 2015, 2017, and 2023. But what does this mean for Ghana's development and pursuit of good governance? We'll explore that shortly. First, let me take you through the details of that report, how they arrived at what we do know. Now, if you look at it, Ukraine is number 1. Now, look at what they consider. They looked at the highest qualification obtained by elected lawmakers from 2015 to 2017. And the red indicates PhD, orange is other postgraduate, the blue is undergraduate, and then you have the ash there, which is some post-secondary and secondary or less, being the green of a sort. Now, if you look at Ukraine, they have about 25 people who have PhDs, about 50 having other postgraduate degrees. They have quite a number of undergraduate. Look at Poland is 2nd, Czech is 3rd, Taiwan is 4th, South Korea is 5th, United States is 6th, and Ghana is 7th. 8 is Slovenia. Now, they also look at the subject of interest, a subject studied by 7 politicians, 2023, percentage of politicians with postgraduate secondary education. In Italy, you have some studying law, social sciences, STEM, including health, business, arts and humanities, and education. United States, a lot of them reading law. You have STEM, education, including health there, and a number of people who read arts and humanities and education. Of interest to us is Ghana. Ghana, we have quite a number of people reading law, quite a number doing social sciences, STEM, including health, and a lot of them reading courses in business. It tells you where the interests of our politicians lie. They are more of the business guys. Now, let's bring in Inus Afuseni, a highly educated former member of parliament. He's a lawyer, to share some insight. Good news. I'm grateful to you for joining. Good news for Ghana's political class.
Exactly. It is no doubt that the political class in Ghana ranked among their colleagues in Ukraine, in Poland, in the United States of America. And it's also exciting to know that in Africa, Ghana is the highest rank.
But would you say that despite this beautiful rank, the country is benefiting from this in terms of development?
Well, the research does not say so. So the research is yet to see the correlation between the representation and the qualification of members of parliament as against their output. The report doesn't seem to touch on that. But what I can say clearly is that probably because of the level of the understanding and education of the members of parliament. It has helped to stabilize our democratic democratic experience in this fourth republic.
But we can't say, because part of the report says those who elect more of lawyers tend not to even pass a lot of laws when they are in parliament. We can't say that we've seen quite some substantial level of development because we have some highly educated politicians.
Well, no. So I'm saying that because this is a research. Doesn't point in that direction.
I'm not asking for a response based on the research. I'm saying that you have been a member of parliament. You are a highly educated politician. If you look at where we are, can we say we've benefited from this high level of educated people in politics here in Ghana?
Yes, to some extent. Yes, to some extent. Now, it is not all that rosy, but to some extent, yes, we've benefited. We've benefited because we have there is now accountability and a keen sense of holding elected public officers accountable, and particularly executives. And so, yes, to that extent, public resources can no longer be wasted with impunity. And so, to that extent, I can say that we benefited in the utilization of public resources for public projects.
But isn't that a slap in the face if you look at what's happening in Parliament now, where we are not sitting, we have issues with who sits where?
It is precisely because of the level of education and the understanding of politicians in this parliament that has escalated the problem to the court. Also, in other parliaments or in previous parliaments, probably this matter would have been heated in the court. But now, because of the level of understanding and expertise, qualification of members of parliament, they have decided that the best way to have this matter resolved is to go to court.
I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Now, away from
You're
that,
welcome.
Ashanti region has received ballot papers and other election materials ahead of the presidential and parliamentary elections, with political parties vowing to protect them from any manipulation. The materials, which include ballot papers, were received by the Regional Director of Electoral Commission at the Kumasi Police Depot in the presence of representatives from the various political parties. Nana Boachi Yadom has more in this report.
The electoral materials for the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections were received at the Ashanti Regional Police Depot, with various political parties' representatives observing the process. The New Patriotic Party (NPP), National Democratic Congress (NDC) had representation of their agents vowing to ensure the integrity of the electoral process. The NDC's regional chairman, Augustus Nana Akwesi, pledged his party's commitment to protecting the electoral materials.
Apologies for the poor quality in sound there. Now, away from that, presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has unveiled his ambitious plan to transform Ghana into a major medical tourism destination in West Africa. Speaking at a stakeholder meeting in the Kumeu constituency, Dr. Bawumia outlined his vision for a modern, well-equipped healthcare system in the country during his presidency. According to the Vice President, his plans involve investing in a state-of-the-art hospital facilities which will attract tourists from around the world. He spoke at the back of a request made by the Kumeu Hene, Berima Safo Twenebu Akodua.
And I will be expert in all of these hospitals. I want to equip all the hospitals here with all these first-class machinery, MRI, CT scan. Ghana, with our Agenda 111, you be a medical tourist destination in the sub-region. You first-class machinery. Nipa be free for medical tourism. So it's very important. Me was in Shishena, Bepese Mediba, Ghana, ha. And I dear Adawakoma Sopa, nursing training college. What kind of so? The idea Miss Umipese, an EGSM, the nursing training college has been approved for Kumeu. It has been approved. And the Ebeshe here, and Sikano so ewo, the cost of it. So it is going to be done. As for the accreditation, ɛne deɛ ɛnyɛ problem ɛne yɛfa ma yɛbɛma instruction na ɔmo ayɛ ne ho adwuma na ɔmo ama mo accreditation no it will not be any problem nyame adom.
That's it for election headquarters. We'll break now and be back with, you know what, the favorite part of the show. Stay with us.